extraordinary pictures. There is over 1,000 migrants rushing to the United States port of entry in El Paso, Texas. I'm told these are largely from Venezuela. The migrants, Venezuelan migrants, pushing against the fenced border. Both the U.S. Border Protection and the Mexican military had to work to contain the situation on both sides. The Customs and Border Patrol putting out a statement, quote, CBP is working to maintain the legal and orderly flow of entry into the United States while protecting the safety and security of legitimate trade and travel. Customs Border Patrol facilities and the CBP workforce. Liz, your reaction?
There's nothing legal or orderly about what's going on in our southern border, Maria. I mean, the numbers are just staggering, and they get worse. Apparently, this year is even worse than last year, when I think the number of people crossing illegally was 2.3 million people. And by the way, most of these people end up staying in the United States. Why? Because the backlog, for example, in New York City, of people having actually a trial and asylum hearing is now, I think, something like 10 years. So forget it. There's nothing legal about this. I continue to think that Mayorkas should be hauled before Congress and made to explain himself. And if he has no plan, which it appears he does not, he should be impeached. He has lied to Congress about our border. And by the way, there is a law that requires him to do his job on this subject, and he hasn't done it. So I say get rid of him as a warning to this administration that the American people will not tolerate this.
Well, the word is out. You'll come to America, you breach the border, you enter the country illegally, and you will be able to stay. You may very well be able to get money to go to school. Liz, New York City Mayor Eric Adams is floating a plan to send migrants to college for free. I mean, and these headlines are not believable. The plan could cost taxpayers nearly $1.25 million in the first year. Dan, your reaction?
Yeah, New York City already has about a $3 billion budget deficit. And so I don't, without commenting on the pros or cons of immigration in any form, there's already a big deficit in New York City. And I think the financial industry has been fleeing the city. Those of us who work in finance account for roughly, I believe, 30% of all earnings in the city, about 10% of employment. So that deficit number is probably optimistic when you look out over the next few years, unless something changes. So I really think from a financial side of things, from a budget side of things, there are going to have to be some tough decisions made if this is the path that you're going to go down.
Well, I mean, look, this border is wide open, Liz. You know, when I spoke with West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin recently, he said Alejandro Mayorkas is aware of this. He knows that the border is not secure, but he's being told to tell us it is secure by the Biden administration.
Yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, all of this is a long-term plan to sort of bring all these people into the country, assume that they will eventually become Democrat voters. There really is no other possible explanation for the fact that they've been so derelict in controlling immigration. Again, I'm in favor of legal immigration, but what we're seeing today is totally illegal. But to your point, Maria, when you keep offering more and more incentives for people to come across the border, they will come. When they hear that there's free college out there, that people can be moved to a different part of the country and set up with income, etc., and all medical benefits, well, of course they're going to come. So there has to be a change, and there's no inclination that this White House is on board with changing what has been a disastrous policy.
Yeah, meanwhile, the Federal Reserve perhaps introducing another form of quantitative easing. I mean, let's look at what's going on this morning with these emergency measures. We are going to be talking about that coming up. I'll also be talking with former acting director of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Tom Homan, our special guest this morning in 1 hour, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Don't miss that. Quick